Greetings, Wolf Bobs! Lord Von Wolf coming back at you with yet another episode of Noob Sauce. Now, last episode we started redstoning and we created the charcoal machine, which is right in front of us. Now we're going to continue with another redstone, but we're going to automate one of the farms. Now, if you remember up above on the Crescent Island, I created a massive green wall. Well, massive, really, of sugarcane. So what I'm going to do this episode is I'm going to create an automated way of collecting that sugarcane. Now there's many different ways of doing this collection. This is only one method, and since I have the resources to do certain things, I'm actually going to use a minecart to pick up the items I want. So of course, in order to do that, I'm going to need some pieces of equipment. Now, one of these pieces of equipment is I'm going to need this item right here called a piston. Alright, now the piston takes up a redstone dust, one piece of iron, 3 planks, and 4 cobblestone. Alright, and what this device does, if I set it down here, okay, and let me just use that to power it. Okay, it pushes the head of the piston out so it can actually move something. Now, okay, if I put that dirt down there, watch what happens. Okay, and then I depower the piston. This block has been moved from here to over here, and that's what pistons essentially do. Now, there's actually 2 types of pistons. You have this regular push piston, and then you have one in which you use slime balls from slime, which I'm now starting to get formed down here, that can actually pull an item back one level. All right, now a piston can only push just so many items before it won't push any more. All right, so I'm going to want those, and I'm also going to want, let's get over to here, this other item called an observer block. Okay, that's made by 2 redstone, 1 quartz, 6 cobblestone. And how this works is, let me set it down. All right, this is the face. This receives a signal. It indicates that there has been a block update of some kind right here in front of it, and it sends out through this little red dot in the back, okay, a signal strength. So if I do this, well, I'll place the block in front of it and watch what happens to that red dot. It flashes. Okay. So that's what an observer does. It observes a change in the block status in front of it and sends out a signal pulse behind it. Alright. Okay, and now let's get over to the rail section of this build, which I believe is in... I'm trying to remember. Well, anyway, so what I'm going to need... yeah, let's just do them all. This way I have it. Alright, so I'm going to create a bunch of sticks. Alright, and then I think... which one is it in? It's not showing it. Interesting. Okay, maybe because I haven't crafted yet, so... Alright, so what we're going to do is... we're going to take iron, like this, 6 pieces, a stick. Okay, that's going to give me 16 rail. All right, and I'm going to do it the horseshoe like I did with the boat, but instead of making a boat, it makes a minecart using the iron. Okay, so if I set this stuff down like that, okay, and then I take this minecart and put it on here, doesn't do anything, but I can push it. And it'll go just so far, and then it'll just, it'll lose its momentum. Come on. Okay, I can also get in it and ride it myself. If I push forward, I can move on it. All right. Now, of course, you're going to want to have it so it powers itself. And how you do that is you come back over here, grab your gold, Alright, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go 6 ingots, 1 stick, but in this case, you're going to use 1 redstone dust, and you're going to create this thing called power rail. Alright, and what that's going to do is if I put that there, yep, give me the torches back that I had from last episode. I'm going to power that rail. So now, notice it went from this dark red to this bright red. That means that rail is now powered. And what that's going to do is if I put a block here and get that cart back out, watch what happens. It moved all automatically. And if you put just so many powered rails down along your line, it'll continually give power to this minecart and it'll continue going around. An even better example of doing this okay, I already have that power, so give me the regular rails. Create yourself a donut, put it on there, now watch what happens. That'll do that forever. Of course, it will drive you crazy because of the noise. Unfortunately, when you use rails and stuff, you have to learn to deal with the noise. But that's essentially how these two items work in tandem with the mine cart. Now, the mine cart itself can't actually pick anything up. So what you're going to want to do with that is you're going to want to create a hopper. Let's create ourselves a chest. Create ourselves a hopper. And then we're going to take that hopper and that mine cart and put them together. And what happens now is that becomes a hopper minecart. And anything that is thrown above it, around it, as it moves or whatever, will collect inside the hopper itself. Alright, and that's how we're going to collect the sugarcane. Put that back together. Alright. Okay, so that's the basics of what I'm working on right now. Next thing I did, I pre-created what's called an infinite water supply. That's what this is. To create an infinite water supply, I'm getting my inventory full here. Where'd my dirt go? Okay, let's start with the dirt. You need 3 blocks minimum. So if I have 3 blocks here like this, right, and I take a water source and I say I place it right here, and then I take another water source and I place it here on the end, which has 3 blocks in a row, this actually creates what's called an infinite water supply. If I take from the center, it'll refill and become an infinite water supply as many times as I want. All right, but if I take from the end, I remove this infinite water supply. All right, let me get this back. Now, if I do this, okay. Now, the only water supply is this one block right here. If I go in a 2x2 floor formation like this and put it opposite of the one that I put here, I get that 2x2 infinite water supply like I did over here on the floor. Alright? So that's how you can create an infinite water supply you use in any of your builds. And get this out of here. And oh, let me I didn't get my water back. Alright, now see with the water throughway, you can't really get rid of it. If you accidentally hit just the throughway, you can technically delete your infinite water supply. That's why I have a tendency of creating the fourth or the 2x2s, however you want to call it. Alright, let's see what I can do about building this thing. So I know I'm going to use the rails to collect this system. And the way I'm going to stack it is so that it's 2 lines. So I'm going to begin with an offload, so I'm going to want to make sure I have a little bit of space to deal with. Alright, I'll begin here. Alright. Now, water can travel up to 8 in a straight line, but since I'm not actually going to do that, alright, so I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then I'm going to bend this, all right, So I'm going to come back around. And of course I need more. Oh, I should get my mobile. No, yeah, give me this one. I'll place it over there. Oh, we'll sit you here for right now. How about that? And then, okay, it's in this tab where you make the rails. I knew it was one of them. It just didn't give me the formula because I hadn't created it just quite yet. Alright, so I'm going to want a return. Extend that one. So I'm going to need the power rail. Alright, so here's going to be the end of my line right there. Alright. I'm going to place a block down here so that when the minecart comes back around and hits this powered rail with this block, it's going to actually bounce it back to go this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, let's do it so, okay, I'm going to put 2 here. Alright, that should technically be enough. Okay, so you will have power rail here, right? And then I'm going to use, I could use torches, but what I'm going to use is redstone blocks. So I'm going to put you power this one here. Okay, those 2 are powered. And this will be powered. Now, I can't use the redstone block here because the redstone block will not bounce the minecart back. Alright, so watch what happens. Okay, now this has just a little bit of slowing action, so I can technically put 1 extra rail here if I really want to. But we'll check it out, see how it goes. Alright, let me put that back so I don't have, so I have some move back. Alright, so that's how the minecart system is going to function. Which now means that I am going to need the dirt blocks above these sections. Now, interestingly enough, in 17, we're actually going to have waterloggable rails and carts. But right now, as of right now, I can't put water so that it hurts these tracks. It's not really a big deal. Ideally, it'd be best to put like water right here and here, but I don't actually have to do that. So what I'm going to do next is give me this stone. Okay. So that, and that. Alright. But remember, I want water in each of the slots of dirt where I'm going to have my, oh, come on, my sugarcane in, because it requires a water spot. A water block, I should say, not a water spot. Okay. Now, of course, I mean, like I said, there are more simpler ways of doing this. I'm doing it this way because I can get what I want out of this system. Alright, so next up is going to be... oh, I gotta move you. Okay, so that's gonna go here and here. I can actually do one more, like right here on this end if I really wanted to. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so that's going to go there. And all I'm doing is simply creating... Oh, I did. That was really dumb, wasn't it? The spots where I can put the water. Okay, so each one of these would get filled with water. Okay. Then the sugarcane would be plantable right here. Because I can't plant it here. No matter what I try doing, I'm clicking like crazy. I can't plant it there because it just simply won't take it. Alright. So I gotta fill... This is the slime I was talking about. This is the large slime. I'm not sure if I showed it to you already or not. But this is what gets me... Now, if I keep moving, he can't hit me. This is what gets me my slime balls. Okay, these are the medium guys. The big guys hurt you, the medium guys hurt you. And then these are the small ones. They don't hurt you. I can stand in here and all they do is move me around. They're not big enough to do any damage to me. So you can, just one punch these guys. And those little green balls that are falling, that's what you want to collect. Those are slime balls. And that is, see, what I can do is I can attach it to this piston, and it becomes a sticky piston. I mean, I don't want to do that right now. But that's that slime ball thing I was talking about earlier. Okay, now, I have all this set up. And then what I'm going to want to do, there's two different ways I could do this. Since we now have water blocks, let's get this back out. We can actually cover this up, and that's still considered a water source. But I can put stuff on top of here now, such as, I'm like way too full here. That's just not technically a big deal. Give me this, and I'll just put that in there for right now. And this is what happens when you're building stuff with your inventory all the time. I'll just put all this stuff in here for now until I need it. I don't need you anymore. Don't need that. Well, eventually I will. I think I'll want the other stuff. Okay, so now what I like to do is I like to be able to look in here. So I use my jack-o'-lanterns, which is the pumpkins with the torches. Alright, to make those again, is you throw down a couple of your pumpkins, you shears make faces on them, they become carved, and then pick them back up. Pull my axe away, it's alright. So I'll just do it by hand. Make sure I have torches in me hand. Make the jack-o'-lanterns, and that gives us a light source. Bam, look at that. And believe it or not, if I put this right here on top like I do a torch, this will actually give me one more count towards that light diamond I was talking about. So instead of 6, this will give me 7. If I put it into the ground by 1, it gives me the same light source as a torch, but one level down. Okay, I still have my axe put away. So then what I'm going to want to do to light this thing up is I can put it here. I can put it here. I can do anything I want, but it's fine if I do here. And I'll explain why. Because I want to make sure that this bottom stem of the sugarcane stays where it is. So by putting my light source here, I can then put my piston here. Alright. And then I can put my observer block on top of this piston like so that the face faces here. So when the third sugarcane grows up, the observer will detect that third stalk growing, send out a signal, oops, I fell, that I can now power that single piston with. And I put the dust away, didn't I? Yes, I did. So, and then if I put that there, alright, that'll bud power this piston. Alright, so watch what happens. See what happens? That piston shot out and shot back in. Alright. Did I get the dirt back? Oh, no, it's up front. Okay, so that is that. Let me get that all into place, and then I'll explain how I'm going to collect it all over here. Be right back. And I've got pretty much all the components now in place. Now, mind you, this looks pretty ugly because it is. I'm only doing this because it's just a base design and not where I'm really going to be. But I just really want to show you the basics and everything. So I'm not really making it look pretty or nice or anything like that. Now, could I have put all this all in one line? Yes, I could have. The only problem with doing that is if one of these observers, which that one is not sitting right, is sent off, it'll generate a power, so it'll bud power the next three. So 3 pistons will go off at the same time. This is why, oh, I put a battery. This is why I stagger these now, so I can I do it this way? You can see. Nope, still wants to go down. Okay, do I have anything? Yes, I do. Okay. And there we go. So I stagger them so that only a single piston will get fired at a time when it's called for. Alright, so by doing this layout like this, I'm allowing myself to stagger this design. Since I'm using a rail system that bounces back anyway, it's fine. I could also do this in a diagonal and get the same thing that I want. Alright, but of course with the diagonal you'll do 2 pistons, but it's the way it is. Now, one of the things I'm going to use in this so I can see what's going on inside, I'm going to use glass. And I started prepping it ahead of time. Alright, to make glass, all you have to do is cook sand. Right. So, as you can tell, I've already started making some sand with the lava. And then I get recipes for glass and the colored glass. Now, with glass, I can do a couple things with this. Let's go to over here. I can make panes, okay, which is like thin versions of the glass. Or I can make bottles to collect water, honey, and stuff like that by using 3. And this takes up 6. All right. So that's other things I can do with this other than just use it as a straight glass block. So what I'm going to do with this glass block is I'm going to cover this so nothing falls outside of where I want it to fall from. Like so. And everything will fall within that 2-layer of sugarcane I have put down. Now, if I want to pick this glass back up, I have to have silk touch. Otherwise, I will break and lose the glass block. Luckily enough, while out and about, I actually found, they put in the tool chest, a silk touch golden axe, believe it or not. So I do have access to silk touch, but it unfortunately doesn't have many much durability on it. I'm also going to put a roof on here as well. All right, so now I'm going to want to collect this in some way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hopper here. All right, so I need to make another hopper. And let's make our chest so we can make our hopper. All right, I'm going to need 2 more chests, which is in this one, right? I'm trying to show you guys the different tabs. I mean, you can use this one and page through everything if you want. All right, so I'm going to have the chest go out, say, this way. So it keeps the farm all in the same location. So I'm going to do there and there, and I'm going to hook this hopper into the chest, so whatever I throw into it goes into there. All right, so on top of this hopper, I'm going to take this powered rail, and I'm going to drop that powered rail right there on top of it. You have to squat and place it. I'm going to put a block there in front of it. I'm going to put that torch. That's going to go there. And then out of here is where I'm going to get my next parts. Let me just switch these blocks out so I know that I have something here. Okay. So to work next, I want a comparator. All right, so that's this one again. 3, 3, and 1. So we can compare the value that something is being put into this hopper here. So I'm going to put that right there. All right, that's going to tell me, I'm going to have to move that again, that I now have something going into the hopper, and I'm going to want to take it out, which is going to go over to here. And then I'm going to take a torch. I used them up. Okay, I'll make a couple more. All right, so just make one for right now. And I'm going to place that right here. Switch out these 2 blocks anyway. Alright, that can go there, that can go there. Yeah, I'll switch that one out, why not? Now, usually I use different colored stone for this. So, then what I want to do is... I'm going to cover this redstone torch here, and that actually is powering this block of stone right here, which is fine, because that's what I want. See, now I have a level 15 here, and I'm going to move this over here to this block here, which powers this powered rail. Now, okay, see, now, it takes a bit for a new form to begin growing, but now you can see that's 2 slots. When it gets to the third one, you're going to hear that piston push off and break the 2 top layers of that sugarcane off. Alright, so now what's going to happen, I take this minecart and I put it on here. That redstone on this powered rail with this block here is going to push that minecart off. And it's going to come back. Now, there's nothing in it, so there's nothing to collect. But I'm going to drop a bunch of this cobblestone here, watch. Okay. I don't know how many pieces that was, 37. Now it stops. It shuts down because this computer has a value. It shuts down that torch, which shuts down this power string here. And once it's done unloading its stuff, which it'll be empty, watch, it'll come back and shoot back because there's nothing in there. Everything has been offloaded into our chest and we get, yep, 37 back. See? That is how that works. Alright, and of course if I really want to hide that comparator so nothing happens to it, I can always put a block over top. It's not a big deal. And that's it. That is the sugarcane farm as it is. And I'm probably just going to get a bunch of half slabs and cover the top with some stone half slabs. Once again, this is just an ugly version of this farm. There are multiple other ways of doing this very farm. This is only just one method, but this is the one design I like to use because it only uses 1 piston at a time per stalk and doesn't fire off until that stalk is ready to be fired off. Alright guys, as always, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for supporting me. You pups, y'all take care now. Bye.